Welcome to Review Rewind, the show where a couple of friends watch movies of old and aim to figure out if the reviewers were spot on or a little off. I'm Mike.
And I'm Tristan.
And this week, we're talking about... Spooky. Home Alone.
Spooky.
Well, no, that was the funniest part. My 3-year-old, we watched this, and every time the great John Williams wrote something that had that, spookiness to it, she would be like, spooky. I was like, oh yeah, how about that? How are you, Tristan?
Doing all right. Back at my home office. So, it's nice to be back home after some holiday travels. Prepping for some more holiday travels.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, in between holidays. You know how it is.
I know. I stay home for the holidays. I don't know.
Home for the holidays. That's a movie.
That is a movie.
How are you, Mike?
I'm good. I'm good. We're a little tardy on the podcast, but I think this will be worth it. It's been busy. This whole bit will be busy, but we are in the holiday season. A skipperary. I don't know the words, but it sounds like the... All right, and
it's the holiday season.
It is, and we're going to be watching a couple holiday films. So we're starting out with Home Alone, the 1990 classic, directed by Christopher Columbus. Oh no.
Yes.
But Chris Columbus. Produced by John Hughes. Screenwritten by John Hughes. Distributed by 20th Century Fox. Produced by 20th Century Fox and Hughes Entertainment. If I'm not mistaken, this may have been one of John Hughes' last big movies. That he, off of his just ginormous success in the 80s.
Well, I didn't realize there was 5 Beethoven movies. 6 Beethoven. 7.
Those are not the same dog.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Kids and family, debatable. Holiday, comedy, spot on. Original language is English. Released November 16, 1990. Starring Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, John Hurd, Catherine O'Hara. Had a budget of $18 million. Grossed in the U.S. $286 million.
Oh.
Opening weekend, it essentially made its budget back of
crazy.
$17 million. And worldwide made $477 million. So, absolute success.
No wonder there's 5
blockbuster. On, even for that time, $18 million shoestring budget. But made it work really well.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I didn't realize this, that Macaulay Culkin's younger brother played Fuller.
Yeah. And he was actually... Was Macaulay 8 at the time of... Let me see. I'm looking up. He is... What year was he born? Why do they not have these things? He was born in 1980. So they filmed it. He was 9, 10-ish. And then his brother was actually 8. So that's really funny that he played an 8-year-old and his brother played something younger, but Kieran I think is his name, was actually the right age. How about that?
How about that?
Well, might as well just move along.
Recap Replay!
Now we transition into a segment called Recap Rewind, where one of us gives you a recap in our own creative way, and this week it's actually going to be both of us.
What?
I know. I decided to have just a little bitsy of fun.
Just a little bitsy.
Here we go. Chicago, Illinois, December 26, 1990. Interior shot of an interrogation room. A veteran detective walks in and sits down at an already seated Harry.
We know you did it. And while there's lots of financial damage, no one but you two were hurt. The DA is feeling some holiday joy and willing to go lighter on your sentence. 2 years rather than pursuing an open and shut case of 10 to 15. All you need to do is tell us what the hell happened to you.
So you're telling me that if I tell you what happens, we get 2 years?
Might be one with good behavior.
Well, I ain't no snitch.
I was afraid of that.
I wasn't finished. This didn't happen to me because of a crook like me, but because of a monster. It all started a couple days ago. I was scoping out houses in the neighborhood, checking if people were going to be home. I posed as an electrician and told all the families we were doing work over the next couple days. The last house was that McAllister house. Big family. Felt like 50 kids. That was our big target. They were going to Paris. Marv and I went back to our place and prepared to rob the whole neighborhood. The next day, we waited until nighttime and we went to that McAllister house. Everything looked good. We went around back to the basement, and as we were prying, a light turned on. We bailed and decided to come back the next day. The following day, we started across the street at that house you caught us at. Oh, I did this all wrong. Oh, no, wait. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
The following day, we started across the street at that house you caught us at. We did our business, and Marv did that stupid water thing. And if I can make a note, I had protested against that from the start, but he kept doing it. So if there's water damage, it's on him. Before we finished up, a message on the machine went off. And it was that McAllister guy saying that they were, in fact, in Paris. We wrapped up, and we planned to go back later that night. Anyway, as we were making our way and start to drive away, this freaking kid came out of nowhere, right in front of the van. I almost hit him. Scared me, scared Marv, scared the kid. He started to walk away, and as I was saying Merry Christmas, he gave me this look. I didn't like that look. We started to follow him to see what house he was going to because I didn't trust this kid. And then he ran. Who runs? And he vanished. And this was the first experience with this little monster.
The monster was a kid?
Are you telling this story or am I?
Sorry.
So after the situation, Marv and I aimed for the McAllister house later that night. The family was in Paris, we thought. We were good to go. Maybe the basement light had been automatic. But we got to the house, and there was some damn fiesta going on. Looked like 20 people, maybe more. But they were supposed to be in Paris. I couldn't believe it. So we planned to come back the next day, Christmas Eve, to see what was happening. I sent Marv back the next day, and he went to the back door, and he said that someone got shot up inside. Now, what the hell is going on in this house? We got ghosts, parties, fiestas, crooks, shootings. We scoped the place out again for hours, and at some point, we saw a kid. That kid. The one we almost hit from before. Coming out of the house and cutting the top of a tree down. We went down to the window, see him decorating the tree alone. This kid was home alone. So we decided we'll come back at 9 p.m. And then 9 p.m. came, and that's when we entered hell. We went up to the back door, and as we knocked, because this kid was home alone, and we wanted to give him a chance, we were being gracious. He shot me in the groin with a BB gun. And then according to Marv, the kid shot him in the face. We split up, and I made my way back to the front and sent Marv to the basement. Now, everything I tell you about Marv is from Marv, and he's not the brightest Christmas tree light. So, I can't promise the accuracy of the account. So I tried to walk up the steps in the front, but they were iced. I slipped, and it hurt, but I stood up immediately and made my way to the door with grace. I touched the doorknob, and it was as hot as a blacksmith's rod. I ran to the ice to cool it off. Meanwhile, Marv had made his way to the basement and slipped down because those steps were iced too. He got up like a champ, and on the first try, saw that the door was open. He walked in, looked at the light, found the cord, but it was booby-trapped. He got slammed by an iron right in the face. I ran to the back door, and as I opened it, I ran to the back door and I opened it. But as I did, a blowtorch burned the top of my head. Can you believe it? I recovered and slammed the door open. I was in. Downstairs, Marv was climbing up the steps, which were covered in sticky stuff. He got about halfway up when, now barefoot, he stepped on a nail. He decided to go around to the front window. I saw the kid and ran toward him, but I got glued and feathered. As Marv climbed through the window, he stepped on some ornaments, probably made out of glass. Marv and I finally met up. The kid ran up, and we followed him. The damn kid threw paint cans. I, of course, moved out of the way. But Marv wasn't so lucky. While I was attending to my friend, I was caught off guard and hit by one myself. I don't know what's happening to my accent.
You went a little southern there.
I know. Southern's really easy. Joe Pesci. I don't know. Everything got a little fuzzy from that point. I think there was a spider or maybe a toolbox. But eventually, we made our way to the attic where the kid had climbed. Yep, there was the southern right there.
Yeah.
In his treehouse. And we assumed he wanted us to go through the house. So we climbed through the rope to the treehouse. But that's exactly what he wanted us to do. He cut the rope, and we slammed into the wall. He ran to the house we'd robbed the day prior, and we caught up. We thought the nightmare was over. I'm just going to lose it because I keep going southern. We were just going to turn this kid over to the authorities. But then a ghost came out of nowhere and slammed us in the face. We were out cold. And that's when you came in.
That's what happened.
And that's what happened.
Look, I was trying to give you a chance, but there's no chance the DA is going to buy that.
But that's what happened.
Good luck in court, Harry.
And scene. I hope everyone enjoyed that. I did. I really like exploring the voices I can't do.
You did so well, and then
I know I got tired.
You got to the end, and I just thought, oh my, I was attending to my friend.
I know nothing about accents. I just know that there was a trip I once went on, and ever so often, I would speak like this. This is my North Carolina accent, and I have no idea if North Carolinians sound like that, but I just wanted it to be true. Alrighty.
Alrighty.
So, what'd you think of the film overall?
I have a weird relationship with this film. I watched it 2 years ago. It has never been a part of my family's like tradition growing up of watching this movie. We watched it. I remember watching it as a kid. And I think I remember watching through the third one, and I don't think I watched anything past that. It's part of my brother's.
I think that's true for everyone.
Family. Yeah. I think it's part of my brother's family tradition. He watches this and Die Hard, and like those are their Christmas movies. So we were watching it with him a couple years ago, and I was like, I don't like this movie. I didn't enjoy it. I was really annoyed by it. And then this time I watched it, and I was like, was I wrong last time? Because I'm enjoying it this time around. So I don't know. I don't know. I think it's interesting that the thing that people take away from this movie, and the reason why the other movies don't capture what this movie captured, is that the movie isn't about a kid who booby traps his house.
Right.
That happens, but that's not what the movie's about.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what all the sequels end up being, basically. On. So it was interesting that is a huge element of what people remember Home Alone being about, but that's not actually the story.
Right.
And so I have some thoughts about that, but
yeah,
I enjoyed it this time, where the previous time I watched it, I didn't enjoy it. So there's some really funny moments, and it's not just like, obviously John Candy is hilarious, but there are some really good moments that are like the kid actors.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciated that.
I still love this movie. I actually appreciate this movie more because I saw a perspective from it that I hadn't seen prior. And I watched this movie not only have I watched this movie every year, I had the VHS of this movie and I was obsessed with it as a kid. So I honestly have probably seen this movie 100 times. Mm-hmm. Which you say 100, and in a lifespan that feels like that's not that much. But when you really stop and break down like how much you'd actually have to watch the movie, 100 is a lot.
Yeah.
So
it's a third of a year, basically.
Yeah. And there was a new aspect to it that I actually, because I don't know if it's always been the case, but it feels, I'm going to say this and it's going to be we've talked about it, that idea of like us being of a certain, I guess, political alignment, whatever it is. And, you know, like the idea of like certain, you know, quote unquote, like woke, whatever, you know. Mm-hmm. But I do think that there was a time where on the internet, there was a point where everyone was looking at this movie and kind of like really bashing on the parents. Mm-hmm. And I realized something this viewing that I had not realized before, because I remember for a while, for like the last, I don't know, 6-7 years, I was thinking, man, this movie's rough. It's like just blatant child abuse and negligence and blah, 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 blah. And then I realized, okay, hold on. One, it's a movie. You always got to put it in the context of it's a movie.
Yeah.
And then two, technically, for the 90s, it's a family and kids movie. And so when you think about it like that, you have to think about they exaggerate things so that it's easier for like kids to kind of like connect with it.
Right.
And I realize that in the beginning, they overemphasize how bratty Kevin is
Mm-hmm.
and how like done the parents are.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie, like, this movie's as much about Kevin's mom as it is about him.
Mm-hmm.
They're both having the same character arc happening at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never connected those dots.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I had noticed that as well. The majority of the movie is where the narrator
Mm-hmm.
that is talking to us is Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're seeing everything from Kevin's perspective. And then we also get to see things from the mom's perspective.
What's her name?
When
What's
it
her
cuts to her.
character's name? Because I'm just thinking Kevin's mom.
Kevin's
But that's
mom.
not her name. Kate.
Yeah.
I honestly think John Hurd, the dad, says that once through the whole movie. Kate. Yeah.
So yeah, we get her perspective throughout, but it's there's a lot of things that are from the perspective of Kevin.
Mhm.
And Kevin, like you said, one, from a movie perspective, they're trying to exaggerate these things to connect with the audience that's watching. They're trying to both connect with children and adults.
Yeah. But they're also telling a story from an 8-year-old's perspective.
Yeah. So the perspective is it's a, what do they call it? An untrustworthy narrator.
Right.
So some of the things we see are skewed, which is something I thought about this time of like, they could have very easily made the Wet Bandits not be real. And they almost did it until you see the
Them
gold
getting
tooth
arrested. Yeah.
on the floor. But even them being arrested is happening only from Kevin's perspective.
Kevin's perspective. That's right.
So I don't know if that would make the movie better or not if they did that, but like it would work with the other things that we see throughout the movie, because we see from Kevin's perspective, everybody's mean to him, everybody's like just doesn't care about Kevin.
Right.
And then we get the movie magic, or not the movie, the Christmas magic of him being like, I wish I never saw any of you again. And then the next morning, I made my family disappear. So in his mind,
I made my family disappear.
yeah, in his mind, Christmas magic happened and he's all by himself now.
Right.
And so he has his party, he does his things, and then he realizes like, oh, I kind of miss my family, but I'm going to figure things out. He's scared of the furnace that comes to life, and we see from his perspective that the furnace comes to life until he tells it to stop. The Buzz tells him the story of the neighbor who's a murderer, and so he responds out of that fear for the entire movie until he has an actual conversation with the guy, and then his perspective changes.
They could have gone really, really dark, and Kevin could have just thought that that guy murdered his entire family.
His entire family, yeah. The Wet Bandits, like the Harry shows up as a cop.
He could have just been a cop.
But kind of a creepy cop. And Kevin could have just seen that and been like, oh, that guy makes me uncomfortable, and made up this whole story in his head about Harry being some robber because he heard it on the news, or Buzz said something about
it. Wouldn't have been too far off, because it does seem like the Chicago PD in this particular neighborhood is quite incompetent.
Yeah, they suck. So there's a lot of things that feed into that this story really could have been like Kevin really got left home, but everything that happens to him is all from his imagination.
Right.
And then we see him come to terms with like the reality of the situation. That very easily could have been the movie.
Yeah.
But then the dad picks up the gold tooth at the end, revealing like, oh, this actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an idea, I guess, a theory that I processed as I was watching it, is the line of where they decided to keep it real and keep it as like, this is actually happening versus this is part of his imagination.
Well, and what's interesting too is both that theory and the reality both get undercut by the sequel.
Yeah.
Because the whole purpose of the film is to show that you have this family at odds with their youngest son. I don't know if they make the actors' ages accurate, but John Hurd is in his early 40s. Mm-hmm. Kate is in her. Pete is actually John Hurd's character. Peter McAllister, and Kate is in her late 30s, and they have clearly like a couple teenage, like 3 teenage kids, and then a really young one. So probably like an accident. Mm-hmm. And they're trying
unplanned,
unplanned, and they're trying to balance this dynamic that is a hard dynamic. Now, are they? But like you said, even in the perspective of the beginning of the movie, we are kind of seeing this all from Kevin's perspective. Mm-hmm. So even the idea of Buzz might be tempered with that. Mm-hmm. Like, if they let him get away with that, they're not doing a great job. Yeah. But it's also from like Kevin's perspective. So it could be they are talking to him, but Kevin doesn't see that, whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. So they have this like favoritism and all that's happening. Because there was something I noticed that I hadn't noticed before. And it was the scene where it all starts, where Kevin pushes Buzz, he spills the milk, they spill the soda, they do all that stuff. And then they have that panning shot that everyone has to stay there. They linger way too much longer than they actually would in real life. But everyone's like staring at him. Mm-hmm. And Peter is like cleaning up and staring at him mad, but he kind of like keeps like looking away, almost like, I don't actually want to be mad at you, kid. Mm-hmm. I'm mad at you, but I don't want to be mad at you. Showing like a grace that wasn't really there from Kevin's perspective. Kevin didn't see that. Yeah. And, you know, Peter's really just trying to kind of like balance everything out when Kate is telling Kevin to do something and Kevin's not listening. And Peter's just like, hey, essentially like, listen to your mom. Go listen to your mom. Yeah. The reason I bring that up is because I think there was a lot more caring that Kevin didn't see or didn't understand, whatever it might be. And so Kevin goes into this assuming everyone hates him because even his memory of when he's doing the flashback, everyone is way meaner than they actually were. Mm-hmm. And so...
Except for Uncle Frank,
Frank is a son of a bitch.
The worst.
He's the worst. Those two actors in that film were only 5 years apart from each other.
Who?
Frank and John
and Peter? Okay. Yeah.
They are only 5 years apart, so they could be brothers, but like Frank is a very 90s 40s.
Yeah.
Where if you're 40 in the 90s, you look like you're 80. Like somehow that's just how it works. But I say all this because I didn't really notice how much like he is just kind of trying to help the situation but doesn't know how. Kevin is just like really feels everyone hates him. And then immediately Kate is in regret when she realizes it.
Mhm.
So, like, Kate is apologetic the whole time. Like, they're all in this place where they're starting out the story angry, whatever it is, and then they all end the story with the same place of, like, we were wrong. We wanted our family together. We love everyone. Like, everyone should be together. And
Yeah.
I just really didn't catch that before. Like, I think I was on that boat of, like, it's about a kid killing two adults.
Yeah.
And then this time around, it was really like, oh, everything that Kevin is experiencing is changing his perspective in some way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
Meeting the neighbor, doing the groceries, cooking, like being self-sufficient. He's learning responsibility in that realm.
Yeah.
He does break the law several times.
Mhm.
He does show that the Chicago PD is the most incompetent police department in the world simply by just sliding through an ice rink.
Mhm.
I that was something that I pulled out immediately. The guy was making a traffic stop in the midst of writing a ticket, and then a tiny shoplifter goes by, and yeah, he could have shoplifted whatever it was, but this cop abandons his stop
Mhm.
to go chase a kid,
Yeah.
which I was just like, I can't imagine that's protocol. I cannot imagine that you can't even, like, that doesn't make any fiscal sense.
Mhm. But then again, did Kevin actually get chased by a cop? Or did he get scared about Marley showing up and then he ran out the door? They're like, hey, you're shoplifting. His little brain went, oh no, that's illegal. He saw a cop and just started running.
No, I think it happened. The only reason I think it happened is because all other perspectives on the cops
Mhm.
were not any different.
No, they weren't.
not at all. The guy knocking like 5 times and then be like, there's no one home.
No, nobody's
Tell him to
here.
count his kids. Wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, kind of a weird tangent about it, but do you want to start with what you like best or what you like least?
I mean, we can start with what we liked best about it, I suppose. So I really enjoyed the humor in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Even more so than I did last time I watched it. Of just like John Candy, he's just a funny guy.
I was dying the whole time.
He's like, he says such subtle things that are just like, oh, that's good.
I have to imagine that all of it was improv.
It had to be like him just being like, polka 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 and like listing
We
we
sold a bunch of albums in Chicago.
Yeah.
Sheboygan.
Yeah. Yeah. That was good. I do I like the arc of Kevin, and as we were talking about it, I even came more to realize, like, at first I was thinking Kevin doesn't necessarily learn anything by the end, but if the movie is from his perspective and his family comes back and now they're all loving and everything, like, his perspective changes about his family. Even his brother, who was mean to him before, is like, hey man, it's cool that you like didn't die. Or whatever it is that he says.
Yeah.
So like there is a perspective change of like Kevin does grow through the experience and like even gives good advice to his elderly neighbor. So there's like, there's actually really good. story that
he
happens
kind
there.
of sees himself in his neighbor and gives advice that's kind of applicable to even himself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I like that. I mean, John Williams is always good. There was that I didn't notice it before. There is a something that happens in the musical theme that is reminiscent that made of Hook. It made me think of
Oh.
Hook, and I can't think of what moment it was. But if you listen to, I think it's the main track. There's
that one.
No, not that part, but the that one. The Christmas song. There's something in that's like, oh, you shared a little bit with the Hook.
John Williams.
Song.
Here's the thing about John Williams. I love John Williams. I think he's a genius. He borrows. He's a borrower.
Oh yeah.
He borrows a lot. He borrows a lot from classical music. He borrows a lot from himself. Like he borrows. But it's always good. It's always good.
Yeah. I'm not complaining over here.
Yeah.
It's just I mean Hans Zimmer does it too.
Like the one the running theme is just like a variation of the William Tell overture.
Mm-hmm.
No, Nutcracker. It's one of the Nutcracker things. But he just does like a variation on it. Like he does that a lot.
Yeah. Well, just a fun little thing that I noticed.
John Williams is great. Yeah.
I think, and like we were talking about at the beginning of the movie, the family sucks. By the end of the movie, you're like, oh, like I actually kind of like the fact that his sister was worried about him, and like the mom actually does care.
Yeah.
And in fact, I don't believe that what we heard her say when she told him to go upstairs is actually
maybe
fully
what she said,
but it's what he heard.
Right.
So
that's a good perspective of like, it's what he heard.
Yeah. So I think maybe part of the reason why I didn't like this movie in the past was because it's just like everybody sucks. Like what the family's mean. He's an annoying, whiny kid. Like just everything sucks here. And then watching it with that perspective of like, oh no, this is actually different.
What's funny about
was able to enjoy it more.
I feel like what's funny about that is that the really obnoxiousness of Kevin is what he sees in himself too.
Yeah.
Like he understands it. If we're going off of like he's the the bad narrator, like that is his perspective of himself too. But in the beginning he's justifying it, and it takes him the movie to understand like, oh, that's not good. Like I was a brat. Those things that I did weren't actually good things that I did. And then when they go to New York, he starts it off by doing the same thing. He doesn't learn his lesson. I don't know how else to say that. The second one really undercuts everything that happens in the first one.
Everything, yeah. So what happens when they make sequels that are just meant to try to recapture?
Yeah. So John Candy, legend. I loved every scene that he's in, where he like too nice.
Yeah.
It might be a joke on his Canadianness. Because when they're playing in the back and he's offering the clarinet and he keeps offering the clarinet and he keeps offering the clarinet and she's like, no,
no, come on, try it.
But he's just really funny. All the lines, like if they're written, great lines. If they're improv, amazing lines. I like Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. Like I think they're great. They're awesome. Daniel Stern is one of those guys that really was kind of like a character actor who I'm sure has a much deeper well to gather from, but really just kind of got stuck in that character actor kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he's so good. Like, he's such a good actor. He really commands his body. He really understands physical comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Pesci. Have you ever seen an interview with Joe Pesci?
No.
He's a character actor in himself, that he plays like this mobby kind of New York guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he is very well read, very articulate, clearly loves the craft of acting.
Mm.
And it's so funny to see him like talk in this, and probably is like really pulling from like family members. He's just like, this is my uncle, this is my brother, like whatever it might be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was going to say, it's amazing that they did it so that he doesn't curse. But then I think of his interviews and how much he just doesn't actually, like, he isn't as, at least from his interviews, it doesn't seem he's that much of a like casual street talker as his characters produce. So I'm like, maybe it's not that crazy, but he did a really good job of articulating that anger and what you would expect someone to say without ever saying it. Like, he did it so well.
I was reading something that was saying that the director was like, hey man, you can't curse in this one. So like say the word fridge instead. And so like a lot of his muttering is him keeping himself from cursing.
Yeah.
While still
cursing, essentially.
Cursing. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the amazing thing. He gives all the energy, like everything feels like it. Yeah. I love Joe Pesci. Macaulay Culkin did an excellent job as kid actors go. Like, he really was kind of in a league of his own. There are definitely moments where it's like, this is very kid actor, but
yeah,
it's still great. The music, the soundtrack, the licensed songs that they use are great choice. Like, Christmas is such a good time to try to do something like this, because the music's so fun. Like when he's shaving and it's the White Christmas, and you know, rocking around the Christmas tree and all that stuff. Like it really does give it the feel that they're aiming for.
It was interesting seeing Catherine O'Hara as like the straight man in the comedy. Like, usually, especially now, we think of her from Schitt's Creek or like her, or even Beetlejuice. Like,
she's
her characters are over
actor,
the top
yeah,
and like crazy. And in this one, she's just a mom.
Yeah.
Like, she has moments that are like,
they're
crazy,
she exaggerates
but
it.
She's just a mom. Like, she's not eccentric in any way. She's not like she's over the top or weird. She's just a normal lady
Midwest
who's like, I gotta get back and
yeah. You're right. She does have some really funny lines, though. Sometimes it's Christmas. It's the season of perpetual hope. Yeah. Anything else?
I mean, I'm sure there is, but
yeah, like overall, I really enjoy the film. So there's lots of things I could probably talk about, but I'd just be, beating a dead horse. Like, it's great. Well put together movie. The direction is really good. The cinematography is really great. Like, it has a lot of great visuals, a lot of good choices. And the practical effects wonderful. Kudos to the stuntmen because they hit their face really well.
Yeah.
Like, if you look real close, you can tell, like, that guy's not the size of Joe Pesci.
Mhm.
But other than that, I mean, indiscernible. Like, it really was really well done.
Yeah. Oh, I did just remember a specific scene that I really enjoyed. And it's when Kevin is like early on, and Kevin keeps complaining about not wanting to share a bunk with Fuller because Fuller pees the bed. And it's when they're in the dining room and everybody's eating pizza, and Kevin looks over to Fuller, and Fuller just has this like evil smile on his face of like,
And he
"I'm gonna
lifts his
pee on you."
eyebrows. He's like, yeah, topped off by his mother going, Fuller, don't drink too much.
Yeah.
And then Fuller looks and then raises his eyebrows. Both my kids let out a giant laugh when he did that. And I was like, so kids like facial expressions. Got it. Okay. They find that funny. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he knows and he's proud of it.
Yeah. Which is a funny twist on it. Did it happen in this movie or the other movie where everyone's like I think it's the next movie. Everyone's sharing the bed or sleeping on the floor or whatever, but Fuller has a bed all to himself.
That would be in the next one.
The
I'm
next
sure.
one, okay. I was just thinking of that. I was like, it's a good callback.
Yeah. Everyone knows it.
Yeah. Things you didn't like.
As a child, the cartoonish mousetrap like things, the booby traps that Kevin sets up, are great. As an adult, it makes you like cringe and like hold yourself close because it's like, oh yeah, I've stepped on a nail before. I know what that feels like. Or I haven't been hit in the face with a bowling ball or a paint can, but I've been hit in the face really hard, and I know that it like would hurt like crazy. I've learned enough that this is no longer funny. It's uncomfortable to me. And so, like, I get it. It's fun, and I have to think of it from the perspective of it's just a ridiculous movie. But at the same time, there is more discomfort now watching those scenes than there was when you're a kid watching those scenes of just being like, ooh, ah, ee.
If they didn't die from a concussion, they definitely died from tetanus.
Yeah.
Like, both of them have some kind of infection that is riddling their body.
I think there's a video out there where someone's like, how many times would they have died? Or like, what kind of serious injuries would they have actually gotten from all of this? It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
All
starting from like the first ice slide.
Yeah.
Like there's a good chance
from
concussions, probably broken ribs. Like, there's a good chance they would have been immovable by then.
Yeah. I mean, I've fallen on ice before, and I did not want to stand back up and start moving. I just wanted to sit there and die. So, like, the fact that they get back up and they go through more torture is crazy.
Wild.
This is it's pretty minor, but it's just one of those things that just stops. You have to stop and think about. I don't think they did a good job of introducing Kevin being a tinkerer or a builder of sorts. And yet he sets up the most elaborate contraptions, like him doing the movie thing with the pizza delivery, like, leave it at the door. Like, that makes sense. That's something that a kid could be like, oh, this is a way to do it. All of the other things are like, how did you do this? How did you think to set up all of these basically animatronics in your house to look like a party's going on? Or how did you have the time to set up all of these booby traps and like think through how perfectly they're going to work and then somehow miraculously clean it up, which goes into the theory of it all wasn't real, because the next morning everything is perfectly clean and the only piece of evidence is the gold tooth. That's a minor and I think it's like there's a little bit of the like breaking the movie magic, but it is one of those things where it's like I feel like they could have in the story shown us somehow that Kevin was a smart kid before he starts doing those things.
I mean, he could have gotten beat up by Buzz because he's smart, but he's treated like a dumb kid.
Yeah.
So nothing bears a reason. Like it is a missed point.
Mm-hmm.
Something along those lines. Plot-wise, there's a big issue that happens that is never answered or resolved. So, plot point. Why are they late?
Because the power goes out.
Right. What is connected to power that the wet bandits are looking for?
The alarm system, the automatic lights.
How are the automatic lights still perfectly on time when everything is reset? And there's no way that morning they would have reset it.
In the 90s, those things reset to 0 or midnight,
or they are plugged in and they're crank timers. So you set what time it is, and it literally just goes around a circle for 24 hours and keeps going.
True. If it's one of those,
that thing,
it would stop.
That timer would have been off by however much time the power was off for.
At least 8 hours.
Well, maybe. Because they did have power, but the clock didn't reset. Oh, did it turn on in the morning? Did they show that?
The power didn't get turned back on until after they left, because they were all piling into the van, and we see the electricians on the pole, like, fixing it.
I thought that was for the phone line, because they said the power's on, but the phones won't be on for a while.
Oh, is that what they said?
Yeah. Because
I don't remember when the power turns back on, because they wake up and they look at the clock and the clock doesn't have anything on it.
No, it's flashing 12.
Was it flashing 12?
Which is what it does when it resets.
Yeah. I thought it was blank because she like reaches over to like turn it off, but then realizes that it's not on. And then she's like, "We're late."
They both are. They both jump up. And they both say, "We overslept."
Yeah.
But
either way,
that's a big
the
plot
power
hole.
going out would have totally changed the way that those clocks work, because they're not smart. And it's not like the power turns back on and they're like, "Oh, it's 11 o'clock according to the internet," because the internet barely existed.
And Kevin would have known what those timers were, where they were, and how to reset all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
He's a smart kid.
He's a smart kid.
He's a smart kid.
Yeah, that one took me out for a minute, where I was just like, wait, how are they still able to time it out? That power outage was a huge plot point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's literally why they're late. So how is it that it didn't affect these non-smart timers? They're not like connected to the internet. There is no internet at that point, or at least achievable.
Not in that house.
Oh, maybe that house.
Maybe that house.
Even maybe back then, it was a rich neighborhood.
Maybe the whole attic was just a large computer. Putting the computer in the attic is the worst idea because heat rises.
Unless you have a vent.
No, it's a bad idea.
They got a basement.
They got a basement. Yep. They could have put it down there.
Yeah. With the furnace. Also, another kind of plot point. The fact that all of these people slept in, I have a little bit of issue with, because the thing goes off at 2 in the morning, something like that. And it is freezing cold outside.
And nobody woke up like, I'm cold.
No one was like, is the furnace broken? Like, how is it so cold in here? Why is it so cold? Like, the fact that no one did that. As a father, I'm just like, I don't know how that, even with their comforter, I'm like, that is.
The furnace was a fire furnace.
But they would still need something to activate it.
It could have been gas powered. And if it was on when the power shut off, that's not necessarily going to turn the flame off.
Right, but
gas isn't connected to electric. So it could have gotten too hot in there, really.
Nah, I don't know. That doesn't work for me. They're rich. I don't believe that.
You don't believe?
I think Frank is a moocher, but I think John and his brother in Paris are quite wealthy.
Yeah, but you don't think that the furnace could have stayed on and kept them warm, even though the power was out?
No, because the switch to get that air, that heat into the room would have been connected to electricity. I don't believe in that house. There would have been like a big like thing where it just goes like, and it just opens everything up.
We need some 90s heating and electric experts.
HVAC. We need some HVAC experts from the 90s. To come
tell us how that would have worked. That furnace was definitely not a electrical powered furnace. It wasn't an
electric powered furnace. I agree with that. But the mechanism that would send that heat to the rooms would have been.
But if the mechanism was already on or open and the power shuts off, it's not like it's going to close.
It would probably shut off.
Okay.
Because it would need a motor to blow the air.
We're getting really bogged down by a really minor thing.
Look here, man. I'm a heater expert here.
You went to heater school?
I went to heater school. Not the cooling one, just the heater.
Yeah.
I have a degree in financing.
Oh.
I don't have a boo. That's them applauding the badness of it. They're like, that's so bad. Good job.
It's so bad. We've never heard anything so bad before.
I think we're all. Do you have anything else as far as? I don't really have anything else, honestly. That plot hole. Was
I think it was mostly some plot things. Some I'm uncomfortable as an adult watching men be killed. But
yeah.
Like, it's cartoony, but also it's not cartoony. That guy stepped on a nail.
And that looked like it hurt. And
it was a long one, too.
And they filmed it in such a way that it looked... I know it was perspective, but they did a good job.
Yikes. Let's see. I have a question that I want to ask, but let's do quotes or character. Well, we kind of talked about characters. Was there any?
John Candy.
Yeah.
John Candy. Hands down. John Candy. I grew up as a hefty child, and there really weren't too many people to look up to. But gosh darn it, if I didn't have some of the funniest people to look up to, and John Candy was one of them. John Candy was my hero growing up.
Yeah.
and
He's so good.
he's
Yeah.
so funny. All right, we can go to quotes. That's fine.
Yeah. At the when Marv and Harry split up and then they meet back up. Why the hell did you take your shoes off? Why the hell are you dressed like a chicken?
Yeah. Oh man. Just the whole back and forward with Gus and Kate. Like when they first meet, he's like, "Allow me to introduce myself. Gus Polinski. How are you? Polka King of the Midwest? The Kenosha Kickers? No? That's okay. I thought you might have recognized. Anyways, like just how he delivers all of it. Yeah. Polka.
And the idea that he thinks that he's like a well-known person.
That I appreciate. Yeah. We sold about 623 copies in Chicago. No, Sheboygan. I say Sheboygan all the time. It is a real place, but
It's a funny name.
And how he delivers it, because he adds like a boing to it. Sheboygan.
Yeah. I didn't realize this when it was said, but looking back at the quote, this house is so full of people, and it makes me sick. When I grow up and get married, I'm living alone.
Yeah. I love that. It's a very kid answer.
Yeah.
Not that it's a like very quotable, but when Joe Pesci is dressed like the cop and the two little kids are there and he's like, "Hey, how you doing? Your pants around? You okay? Can you hear me?"
And they're just staring
at him.
It's not really a quote. The whole conversation between Kevin and Marley, the old guy, it's a really great scene.
Yeah. It's lovely.
He does say something that's really funny in that. Let me see if I can find it because I can't remember it off the top of my head. It was really good. Hold on. If you have more, share some more while I look it up.
Let me see. Oh, it's not a line, but I thought it was very funny. I think it's a joke. It has to be a joke. And if it's not a joke, I apologize to anyone who may have that name. But there's a Officer Balzac.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Balzac. But if you look at the screen, when he's on the screen, he has a name tag. And there's something right in front of the last two letters. So it just says balls. And I was like, if that's not a joke, that is the biggest miss, like just a total miss. Yeah. But I have to imagine someone did that on purpose. Mm-hmm. Like I have to.
Yeah. Okay, I found it. They're in the church together talking. And Kevin says, "So give it a shot for your granddaughter anyway. I'm sure she misses you and the presents. I send her a check. I wish my grandparents did that. They always send me clothes. Last year I got a sweater with a big bird knitted on it. That's nice. Not for a guy in the second grade. You can get beat up for wearing something like that." Yeah, I had a friend who got nailed because he was there was a rumor he wore dinosaur pajamas. Like just like I got a knitted with a bird on it, and he's like, "Oh, that's nice." He's like, "Not for a guy in the second grade."
It's funny because it actually gives you like there's so much narrative behind that, and you have like a really good. You really do have a good picture of like maybe what he goes through or what it feels like. It's funny nonetheless.
It's just a good, and the way he delivers it is just like so serious. Like you don't know, man.
You can't. It's like, that's a really nice shirt. Oh man, no, I can't. You don't know what it's like in the streets, man. I can't do that.
I can't wear a shirt like this at school.
Kate's calls to the police officer, it's like hyper online too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of aspects that are just very, you don't really notice or really understand how much of it is like, it seems cartoony because it's in the movie, but then you're really like, I feel this a lot,
Mm-hmm.
When she just can't seem to get a flight and she yells, she's like, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've felt that before.
I've been there.
I've definitely been there.
And then I always feel real bad after.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's good. Alrighty. Let's move on.
Okay, hold on. I have a question before we move on.
Oh, yeah.
To
What's the
next
question?
thing.
What's the question?
This is an important question as we move into the season of movies that we're watching. Is this Home Alone a Christmas movie?
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
Are we going to keep asking this as we go along?
Yeah, we're going to keep asking it.
Okay.
And I think it's going to
let's
dive into the question of what is a Christmas movie?
Well, and then with
and
that,
how does...
let's justify my answer, I guess, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said before, this one of the prominent characters within this story that isn't mentioned but is definitely a character is the magic of Christmas, like the spirit of Christmas, whatever it might be. It's that, wishes do come true. 'Tis the season, all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then throughout the film, Kevin is essentially inspired by the things that are brought about through the season of Christmas and through the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what changes him.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation he has with the old man starts out with like, the church is a good place to come when you feel bad about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And, they kind of go through that, but it's mostly, they're saying that in scope of the season of like Christmas and all of that.
Yeah.
And, Kate says Christmas lines throughout the whole thing. Like, she's just like, it is Christmas.
Yeah.
It is Christmas time. This has to happen because it's Christmas. Like,
Mm-hmm.
So I would think so. I would think so.
Yeah. I agree.
Is this like some weird allegory for, what is it? A Christmas Carol?
I was just going to say, because the character's name is Marley. And then I thought of, like Marley, it might be a reference to the Christmas
Carol. There are 3 ghosts.
And then, before we get there, and then I had the Muppets. It's Marley and Marley. Whoa. Yeah. As you were talking a very serious thing, and I was just over here being like, Marley and Marley.
Wait, there are 3 ghosts.
Tell me about it.
But past, present, future.
Future. Mm-hmm.
But the future is supposed to be, there's one that is like very gracious.
Yeah, so the past is like a child. The present is like the guy who's like, oh, let's eat food and be joyful and blah, blah, blah. And then the future who's like, I'm gonna show you your grave.
Which is Joe Pesci. Because he keeps threatening his death.
Threatening to kill him?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
It's a little stretch, but I do think there might be a connection there, more
maybe
so
some
than we
themes.
think. Because he's a Scrooge. He's a Scrooge in the beginning of it. He's the problem. Kevin is the problem.
Uh-huh. He wakes up. He gets woken up, and
the idea of the thing someone quote unquote innocent is gone.
Uh-huh.
Like, he really is like, yeah, this is great. And then as it's going along, he's like, this is not great. This is not, they don't have me. I'm not in this picture anymore. I don't have them.
We might have to do a little bit of we might have to do a separate like YouTube
thing where we go, Home Alone is the Christmas Carol.
Is it the Christmas Carol or is it
it's the Muppet Christmas Carol because no one dies.
The Muppet Christmas Carol. No, what's why can't I think of the movie? It's black and white. It's got Jimmy Stewart in it.
I want to live again.
Yeah,
that's a terrible Jimmy Stewart.
Or something in that window.
Or something in that window.
Yeah, we're crossing over movies now. You know what I'm talking about, and I can't think of the name of it.
Harvey. I, honest to goodness, cannot. Jimmy Stewart.
It's a Wonderful Life.
That's it.
There it is.
It might be A Wonderful Life. That might be it.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be so. We should look into that. That's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is a Christmas movie. If you don't think this is a Christmas movie, you're crazy.
Yeah. There's the debate about what makes a Christmas movie, blah, blah, blah,
right.
blah. Some people that I knew were having this conversation on a social media platform. And I chimed in with my thought of arguing against what they were both saying. And they never responded to me, but I think they both made poor arguments about the situation of
just in general, the idea of Christmas movies.
It was specifically about this movie.
This movie, Home Alone.
It was is this movie what's the difference between this movie and Die Hard? Was really the conversation that they were having, and they were like, "Well, Christmas has to be an inciting incident," because one person said that Home Alone wasn't necessarily a Christmas movie, which I think is crazy because Home Alone is very much a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
and then the other anyway. There was a conversation of
we'll have the conversation with Die Hard.
Yeah.
Because I do think it is a Jesus allegory, though.
I'm excited to talk about that one. If you just think of it from the perspective of boy gets left home alone because family goes on trip, robbers come and try to steal from him, and he has to protect the house. Not a Christmas movie.
Right, but you're taking a lot out of the movie.
But you're taking a lot out of it. If you think of it from the perspective of there is Christmas magic that is happening, at least in the mind of this kid, it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
and
he's directly being impacted by the time of if this happened in June, I don't think the same outcome would occur. Mm-hmm. Because
what mall Santa is you going to go talk to and be like,
right.
Hey, can you deliver a message for me? And then that mall Santa is doing a really bad job of, protecting a kid who's obviously saying some things that is pretty concerning. But the cops suck, so why would he say anything to the cops? They wouldn't do anything about it.
I know. This is an oddly political movie. Alrighty.
All right.
Now we transition into the Review Rewind, where we take a look at a positive review and a negative review, and we see where we fall. The overarching reviews are in Metacritic, 66%. Rotten Tomatoes. That's wrong. The tomato meter, so the critics gave it a 66%, and then the audience gave it an 80%, and then it has a 7.7 on IMDb. So overall, it seems like the reviewers did not like it, but the audience did. So why don't you go ahead and read us the positive?
The New York Times. Oh,
this is the highest review that's up there.
Really?
Yeah.
The New York Times gave it an 80. Kevin has the potential to be the mawkish child or the obnoxious little adult so common on screen, but he's neither. Played with great glee by Macaulay Culkin. He is totally endearing up to the minute little boy. He is a totally endearing up to the minute little boy.
I don't know what that means, but
I don't know what that means.
they gave it an 80.
They gave it an 80.
And then I think that this person gave it a bad score because they're from Chicago. So I think they're thinking they're mocking Chicagoans. It is a 50 from the Chicago Reader. This movie is quite enjoyable as long as it explores the fantasy of the neglected little boy having an entire house to his own to explore and play in. But the physical cruelty that dominates the last act leaves a sour taste, and the multiple continuity errors strains one's suspension.
It's not wrong because the last 30 minutes of the movie are unlike the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
It is a sudden shift that nothing even suggests that is going to be what the end of the movie is. And then all of a sudden you have kid sets up booby traps and tortures two grown men.
Right, yeah. I mean, fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
But also, if that's the story that they're telling, it could have gone the direction of little kid gets scared by two men breaking into his house. So it's more family fun to have a kid protects his house from.
This was the beginning of kids. This is an oddly political movie. It's a rebel cry for children's rights. I think that's really where it's coming to. This started an avalanche of kids rebelling against adults who are wrong. Like, the adults are in the wrong in a lot of the instances. If you think of a lot of the movies that came out in the early 90s. So we have this one. We have two crooks who are trying to break into his house. They're wrong. Blank Check. He stole it from a crook. There are some where you're like, the kids are wrong. But
Yeah.
I think of like Heavyweights. Ben Stiller.
There were a lot of movies in the
Crazy.
90s of kids rebelling against the man.
Yeah. But then there's also the ones where, like, there was one, I can't remember the title, but the essentially the kids put the parents in a prison in their basement. The parents were wrong, but the kids were also wrong to do it. It had Jamie Lee Curtis in it. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, this movie spurned, which is so funny because it's not like the kids were writing it. There were adults writing it.
Yeah.
So there's something there. Anyway,
Interesting.
what do you give it?
I feel like it is a pretty solid B.
Agreed. It has some serious continuity issues and like weird plot holes, but overall, what a fun movie. It's definitely a movie to keep going back to.
Yeah.
It definitely does have the late or the 80s PG syndrome where they're like, this is fine for kids. When there's definitely some things where I'm like,
Maybe not so much.
Maybe not. Can we?
Yeah.
Can we stop saying ass? But yeah, B. Yeah, solid. Agreed. Anything else you got to add?
I was trying to figure out what the Jamie Lee Curtis movie was, but no, I think it's solid. I think it's a movie that, for the most part, is like, it's seen as a classic. There are some people who's not going to like it, and that's fine. And then there's some people like me who are going to like it one time and then not like it another time. But I think if you do come from the perspective,
full circle back around.
Yeah. If you do come from the perspective of watching it, that it's a story through the eyes of a kid.
Yeah.
with inner cuts of the reality of his mom trying to get back, or at least her, maybe not the reality, but the mom's perspective of trying to get back. I think it makes it a much more enjoyable watch than just like some kid beats up adults.
Right. The movie was House Arrest.
House Arrest.
Starred Jamie Lee Curtis and Kevin Pollak.
Yeah.
Kyle Howard was the main kid.
And now you know.
And now you know. You're better for it. You know? Oh, it had Shooter McGavin.
Shooter.
Christopher McDonald. I forgot about him.
I saw him I went to school with his kids. I saw him at a frozen yogurt shop once.
It had Jennifer Love Hewitt as like a kid. Oh, I missed that somehow.
Oh yeah.
Kyle. Did he eat pieces of shit for breakfast? I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You eat pieces of shit for breakfast? Sorry for bringing that one up. That's just, I don't know why that line makes me laugh so much. Anyway.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Thank you for listening, as always. Tristan, thank you for hanging out.
Hey, thank you.
We hope this helps start your holiday season. And if you don't like the holidays, keep listening, because I'm sure we're going to crap on it a little bit. Anyway, I don't know what's next on the books, but it'll be fun. And listeners, remember to review those rewinds, and we'll see you next time. That wasn't too bad.
Hey.
Hey.